What?
Robbing you, Mick.
Oh, bushwhackers. Here's my bushwhacker nephew. So there's a chute down which they were all dumped.
The crystals be?
Maybe tied around.
Well, guys, it just depends. You know, usually a couple of inches long, but when we're talking about corundum, it's not shiny stuff. It's brassy or blackish or grey in color. Here's what we're looking for. Rubble piles with corundum, and we're going higher up the side of the mountain. Okay, there's one right there. You can see it. Yeah, it was in the late 1800s, right on the top here of Robillard Mountain. Minister and his wife, or Minister and his daughter, excuse me, were returning from a prayer meeting, and right at the very top they found a part of the rock that was patterned like cruet stoppers, they called it. Basically six-sided shapes, which is basically the end of the corundum barrels. And they sent it out to be tested, and the test results initially came back as phosphate. So they left it for a while, but it was by 1903, 1906 time period when it was really happening here as a mining location for corundum, Canada's #1 location. Aluminum oxide, they used it for sanding of gun barrels, things like that. Obviously that was a good spot there, you know, obviously because you can see they dug into it quite a bit. And I'm finding a lot of this really fractured sort of rock, and in amongst it lots of small corundum crystals. You can see that black one right there in the middle, right? Small little barrels of corundum. You can see the shiny edges like the plane. There's a real cool, look at the etchings on the surface of that crystal. That's really neat, eh?
Yeah, I'm gonna try now.
So I'm finding it in this sort of porous rock along the veins. You can see the porousness of the rock. And in particular, I found it right over along the edge of this fissure is where it was. It came out quite easily, so you pretty well know there's more all along the inside there. Go for it, Danica.
Where do I do it?
Beat it on that part there. Here's another porous rock. Again, easy gains smashing this porous stuff open. See all the trenches, the big trenches all along like terraces along the edge. And you can see the Madawaska River along there leading to the Conroy Marsh, and that's basically what they did. They sent all the rock down the sluices to a little train track which took it to the Madawaska River, and there from there sent it out to the Ottawa River on barges. It's actually kind of a cool story about the sinking of one of those barges, which was apparently at the time Canada's largest inland maritime disaster. Several people died, and the only survivors, they got away by floating to shore to a little island in the river on a coffin that had been on the deck of this particular barge. Yeah, winter's pretty much, I think, as I say, we're into the 3rd of March here, and this is what we typically call the Pink Trench, this area. A lot of corundum came out of here, and of course, easy pickings. You just want to be careful that this stuff doesn't roll on you, right? There's some really big boulders higher up. Gotta be careful when you're digging around here. And down below is the mine. I think we're going to go down and have a look at the mine. Oh, thank you. Man, this is just filled with all sorts of beautiful smoky quartz, little smoky quartz crystals.
What's the orange
Look
one?
what Tor's found. Doubly terminated quartz there. My whole family's just camera freaks. Severe photographers, a whole lot of them. Typically, outside an adit, there's usually a pile of rock that's been hauled out. Boom, right there. See that sign?
ATVs, please do not enter the mine. We want to save our bats, what is left of them.
Reason being, if you wake bats up during their hibernation, they die. And so for that reason, we're not going in. That is the entrance to the mine. Totally flowed over. So that burrows down into the syenite of Robillard Mountain, right into the roots of the mountain. Guys.
And I feel the running water.
Yeah. But the mine is behind this. Whoa! It's gonna break. I can hear the ice going.
We want to enter the mine?
We would like to, but we can't because the bats need to be looked after. If you wake bats up in the winter, they will die.
Oh, no, really?
Yep. You gotta let bats sleep, and the bats are sleeping in the mine. I wonder how much further into the mine this beautiful. You can see the cyanide up top. There's your cyanide, which we're finding the corundum.
Yeah, I think we need to...
Oh, puppy! Time to go home. Poor Harley. That ends a a March trip to Craigmont. Really beautiful spot, great for rock hounding. Lots of opportunity on the hills. Just spend your time there. You'll find a lot in addition to the corundum barrels. As you see, I found a bit of quartz and